Everybody knows Wimbledon is the biggest tournament in tennis. It's played on fresh grass. With its traditions like the all-white dress code and strawberries and cream, there's nothing quite like it. And wouldn't it be nice to have more of it? Well, tournament officials are planning on making some changes to the existing grass court to make lawn tennis more global. And today, we're here to tell you all about it. First off, Wimbledon tests plastic grass to globalize lawn tennis. Neil Stubley, the head of courts and horticulture at Wimbledon, recently revealed that officials were working on stitching in fibers of artificial grass with real grass in an attempt to recreate the surface in different climates. Consequently, this would also extend the season in the UK. Now, hybrid grass has been used in other professional sports such as football for ages, but it's very new for tennis as they're now taking the first step to test it out. Neil stated that artificial solutions were needed for the Wimbledon-style grass courts to be practical in other parts of the world, where the climate was different from England's. We know Wimbledon's clay soil is perfect for grass, but other places are dominated by sand or chalk. This new system helps make the structure of the surface more stable and resilient to play on. Neil said in this way, players can have a free draining surface that has all the hardness that it's known for too. He said that with this solution, they could go to places like Australia and create good grass courts. A grass court tournament in Australia? Sounds like a dream to us. Now, what's the need for this? Short answer, it's to keep lawn court tennis from dying out. We know it sounds dramatic. Wimbledon is always going to be the most prestigious tournament in the world, but it's one of the very few tournaments on the tour that are played on grass. Of course, grass courts are more traditional than other types of tennis courts, and maintenance costs are higher. If it rains and the surface is not covered properly, the grass becomes almost impossible to play on, and it also takes a very long time to completely dry out. Compare this to other courts, like hard or clay surfaces, where you can resume play within minutes of rain. It's obviously a huge issue, and so grass courts aren't the most common. We only get 4 weeks of grass court season annually. On the other hand, clay surfaces get 4 months, and well, the rest of the year goes to hard courts which make up most of the tournaments, including 2 Grand Slams. But hey, they're working on possibly changing that. So what's the goal? Neil Stubley talked about how the club was using modern technology for the betterment of grass court tennis on a global level. As of right now, such courts are mostly found in England, but the plan is to carry out trials around the world. He mentioned that they were relentlessly searching for a few years now and it was going very well. He said that they've got some trial courts, and the next step is just to get some players and members to play on it and test it out. Neil stated that the goal was to have grass tennis in all parts of the world, whether it's in warm weather or cold. He said that the All England Club wants to champion global grass tournaments. He revealed that the initial plan was to extend the season from 4 to 6 weeks. Honestly, just the idea of seeing a grass tournament in Melbourne or Dubai is making us drool. Also, he said that this was to appeal to the general public to play more lawn tennis. He discussed how some younger players often experienced grass courts for the first time in pre-Wimbledon events. And well, you can imagine how intimidating that can be for kids. So, along with everything else, this could possibly help with that too. But wait, how exactly are they testing this out? Let us tell you. Trials have been happening at All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club's Raynes Park grounds, which are just 2 miles away from Centre Court Wimbledon. Neil said that they were conducting loads of research in Southern Hemisphere grasses to get a product that's just right for different heat zones. He said they wanted to find the right type of grass to top it off and create the same kind of courts as the ones at Wimbledon. The club begins trials with the Sports Turf Research Institute on plots of grass at their Yorkshire headquarters in 2016. Then they began building hybrid courts at Raynes Park just 2 years ago, and they've been in practice since last year. These hybrid courts have 95% real grass and the remaining 5% is plastic fibers. Neil also spoke about other sports, including cricket, that were entertaining the possibility of putting together real grass with synthetic grass to prolong seasons. We don't know about you guys, but this sounds like a great plan to us. Maybe it's all the history behind it, or how posh and proper it is, or just how pretty it looks. But grass court season has to be our favorite. And just the thought of getting to see more of it, well, sign us right up. And that's all about Wimbledon testing plastic grass to make lawn tennis more global. Now, let's move on to some other related news. First up, Alina Rybakina wins Wimbledon. Alright folks, get ready for some very wholesome news. On the 9th of July, Alina Rybakina beat Ons Jabeur in the women's singles final to win her first Grand Slam. And boy, what an occasion to do it. Now, it wouldn't be wrong to say that most people predicted that Ons would win. It's all everybody seemed to talk about. It felt like it was written in the stars. She had said at the start of the year that she was going to win Wimbledon, and at one point, she was only a set away. But fate had other plans. Alina fought back relentlessly and managed to win in 3 sets. She became the youngest Wimbledon singles champion in over a decade. She's only 23 years old. What were you doing at that age? Definitely not anything cooler than winning Wimbledon. Also, fun fact, Alina was born in Moscow. Until 2018, she played under the Russian flag too, but then switched to Kazakhstan. She won the tournament the same year Wimbledon banned Russian and Belarusian players from participating because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Of course, this decision was condemned across the world, and the WTA even stripped the tournament of ranking points. And well, a Russian-born player to actually win the whole thing? It feels like poetic justice to us. We love to see it. And then, Alina Rybakina's celebration goes viral. What would you do if you won a Grand Slam? We imagine we'd yell, cry, jump, or simply faint. But not Alina Rybakina. No, she just plainly raised her right arm in the air, let out a sigh of relief, and walked to the net to embrace her opponent, Ons Jabeur. After that, she ran up the stairs to her box to hug her team. And of course, this reaction went viral all over social media. Many fans applauded her for keeping her composure. Many called it cold and labeled it the calmest reaction ever to winning a major. Some even called it the most unstated celebration in the Grand Slam history. And we have to say that we totally respect it. Also, she just won Wimbledon, she can pretty much celebrate any way she wants. But she did show some emotion in the post-match conference, especially when she talked about her parents. She said she couldn't have even imagined being in the second week of Wimbledon, let alone winning the whole thing. She was appreciative of her entire team. She teared up and thanked her parents and said she couldn't have done it without their support. Honestly, she deserves every bit of this win, and we just know there's more to come too. And finally, Ons Jabeur talks about her loss in the final. We know it must really hurt to be so close to your dream and just missing it. But Ons Jabeur feels differently. The Tunisian talked about how she was very disappointed to lose, but she was looking at the bright side. She said that she always tried to stay positive and quoted Bob Marley singing, "Don't worry because everything is going to be alright." And we must admit that's the best way to look at things. Ons said that she didn't want to overlook the 2 wonderful weeks she's had at Wimbledon, only because she lost in the final. She said she knew she had improved a lot over the last few weeks, and that should be what she takes away from the tournament. She also praised her coach and her husband for staying positive around her and making her realize what a big thing it was to make it to the Wimbledon finals. And that's completely true. Not just that, Ons became the first Arab player to ever make it to a Grand Slam final, and that's no small feat. She's already inspiring generations. We also know she'll be back stronger next year. We can't wait. That's a wrap for this video. How do you feel about a longer grass court swing? Do you think it can happen anytime soon? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.